Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar on Edgewood College MSM Agent E-Summit 2020 Live. Our attendees are on the process of joining the webinar. In the meantime, on behalf of all of us in MSM and Edgewood College, I hope you, your families and all your colleagues are all safe and well. All of us are going through this invisible pandemic and I'm sure that humanity will overcome it in the coming times ahead. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen from all parts of the world. I would like to thank you all for taking your time out and being here today with us. My name is Jim George, Manager Global Marketing Office and overseeing US institutions at MSM, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. I'm delighted and pleased to introduce today's presenter, Ms. Amber. Ms. Amber is a Vice President for Enrollment Management. A heartily welcome, Amber, for joining this webinar. Before I hand over the mic to Amber, I'll run through the housekeeping requirements that are needed for today's presentation and the Zoom webinar platform. So what's today's agenda for the webinar? Yes, you will be hearing a comprehensive presentation on Edgewood College by Amber. As a reminder, everyone is currently muted and will encourage you to type in your questions and comments throughout the presentation in the Q&A session present in the control panel. Later on in the presentation, we'll have a brief moment for Q&A, at which point you'll also be encouraged to type in your questions. In case you're facing any technical issues, please feel free to drop in your message in the chat box. We'll also be having a polling session during the webinar. So all our attendees will have to be attentive during the presentation. We'll expect your active participation during these polls. This webinar is recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel afterwards. For those who have just joined in, welcome to today's webinar on Edgewood College MSM Agent E-Summit 2020 Live. So without further ado, let's kickstart things off by welcoming our presenter, Amber. Amber, over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jim. Yes, hi, I'm the Vice President for Enrollment Management at Edgewood College in Madison, Wisconsin, in the United States. And Edgewood College in Madison, Wisconsin is a small, private Dominican Catholic institution. We serve, and you'll see throughout the different slides a little bit more about our campus, but at Edgewood College, we are committed to our Dominican values that call us to search for truth, build community, promote social justice, be compassionate, and work in partnership to create a more just and compassionate world. We are a very small, personalized campus, and our students and faculty build strong working relationships that lead to great job placement, excellent internships, and applied research, and a ton of different really high impact learning experiences. We can proceed to the next slide. We serve about 2,200 total students. Most of our students, at 1,500, are traditional undergraduate students or working on their bachelor's degrees. And we also have about 700 different graduate and doctorate students that are also attending Edgewood College. Many of our graduate students are full-time working adults and are here on evenings and weekends, whereas those 1,500 undergraduate students are here all of the time, and many of them live on campus. As I said earlier, very small campus atmosphere. Most of our classes are about 13 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 10:1. You can proceed to the next slide. Edgewood College offers a wide range of different academic programs. So we have over 40 different undergraduate majors, ranging from art to radiological technology and everything in between. So we're a very strong school for nursing and education. We were actually founded back in our early days as a teacher's college. So we've always been very well known for providing education that's needed in our region and our world. So very strong programs across the board, as well as 20 graduate and doctorate programs. Our graduate and doctorate programs do run the gamut across all of the different programs, but our strongest ones would be in the nursing area as well as in education as well. And then we also can create majors. So if you're not seeing something that works for you at Edgewood College, we can do individualized majors as well. Next slide. So here at Madison, or at Edgewood College in Madison, Wisconsin, we are actually literally right down the street from UW-Madison. University of Wisconsin-Madison is the flagship institution of the state of Wisconsin, and they serve about 50,000 students. When an Edgewood College student sees a course at UW-Madison that they would prefer to take that we do not offer at Edgewood College, they can participate in that UW-Madison collaborative program. So it does give us kind of the best of both worlds. We are very small. They will never experience huge lectures like on Edgewood campus like they would at UW-Madison. But if there's a really unique course down the street at UW-Madison, they are certainly welcome to take that course. And it's literally down the street. So getting there is not a problem. At Edgewood College, because we are so small, we're a very supportive community and offer a ton of different sources for academic help, from the math lab to the writing center to tutoring services. We really want to ensure that Edgewood College students are challenged to be performing academically and learning all the content, but also supported so they can be successful and graduate. We also have a wide range of different hands-on learning experiences. Nearly all of our students participate in some sort of high-impact learning experience, including an internship or research or community service or travel study. So there's a wide range of different things that, as a part of a small campus, all of our students get the opportunity to dive into. And most of our students are employed within 1 year of graduation. I think that also stems from working very closely with faculty to build those relationships so that faculty can connect students to excellent paid employment after graduation. I just want to show you a little bit more about our campus. We can go on to the next slide. Oh, you're going to ask some questions, so go for it.
Yeah, so it's our first poll time. So here are the questions. So we would request your active participation during this poll. So the first question is, what is the average class size of Edgewood College? So did Miss Amber mention, was it 12? Or did she mention, was it 13? Or did she mention, was it 14? Or did she mention, was it 15? So we would request your active participation for the same. The second one is, how many undergraduate programs does Edgewood College offer? So did she mention, was it over 30 programs, or did she mention over 35 programs, or was it over 40 programs, or was it over 50 programs? And then the third question is, how many graduate and doctoral programs does Edgewood College offer? So was it over 10 programs, or was it over 20 programs, or was it over 30 programs, or was it over 40 programs? So we'll just wait for another 30 seconds so that we get maximum participation. So I would request all of you to participate. This is just an interactive session. So you can just type in whatever you have heard or whatever you feel that you must have seen on the screen, so that we can understand that how attentive were you for this small session of the presentation. So we'll wait for another 5 to 10 seconds, and then we'll be ending the poll, and let's see the results. Yeah. So I think I'm going to end the poll. Yeah. So I'm going to share the result. Yeah. So we can see that 44% of them have told it's 13. The average class size is 13. So they're attentive. And then 44% again have told that they have Edgewood College offers over 40 programs in the undergraduate division. And then we've got 56% of them telling that over 20 programs for the graduate program. So thank you for your active participation and your attentiveness for this webinar. And over to you, Amber. You can take things forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So on the next slide, just showing a little bit about, there we are, the size of our campus. And so really is a small, compact campus, and we have everything that students really need right within our campus. And so, you know, the students would be very, very short walks between where they live and where they go to all of their classes, where they work out. So really a beautiful area. It's amazing to me how beautiful Madison, Wisconsin actually is. So our campus lies right on, you see this little blue body of water in the map is Lake Wingra. There's actually 2 other large lakes within the community of Madison. And then there's a massive network of bike trails within the community of Madison as well. And one of those major bike trails goes right by our campus, between the campus and that lake. And so students can really get everywhere in Madison via bike, but there's also public transportation as well. So we're going to give you a shot. We're not sure if the video is working well or not, but our next slide would be kind of an aerial tour of the campus. And we'll see if it works. For the small campus atmosphere and the beauty of our campus. It really is a very welcoming and safe environment. You saw probably some parking lots and cars. And yes, students are allowed to have cars on campus, but they're really not necessary. And parking, like on many big city campuses, is at a premium. So you don't need a car. You can get everywhere in Madison with a bicycle. And we do have public transportation. Edgewood College also provides transportation via bus and shuttle to any of the places where students need to go. So there's grocery and restaurants and anything students really need right down the street. But if they need to go out further, there's shuttle available. So no need for cars, but definitely some students bring them. So most of our students do live on campus, and so the residential halls of Marshall Hall, Stevie Hall, East and West Regina are the most popular places for new students to live. And these are very traditional residential hall environments. We also have apartment style living for upperclassmen and graduate students if they prefer apartment style living. First and second year students are required to live on campus, but any students after that are welcome to find lodging within the community of Madison if they prefer not to live on campus. The students I've talked to, many of them, even though they are allowed to move off, would rather live on campus for all 4 years just because it makes it so easy and convenient, and they don't have to worry about how to get to campus or the rent prices that are off campus. So being right down the street from UW-Madison, cost of living off campus can get kind of high sometimes. So it's very affordable to stay on campus all 4 years. And I can give you a little bit of an idea of what one of our students' room looks like. If we go to the next one and that video also works, that would be great. And then you're meeting one of our students and he can show you his room.
Hi, I'm Justin. This is East Regina. Let's go check out my room. Hi guys, welcome to my room. Right here we have my bed. Edgewood does support our beds, this one and this one. Me and my roommate chose to loft our beds. He lofted us.
Provide these lofting kits too as well, so that was helpful for us.
So we are also provided the desk. He brought the futon, and we also supplied the fridge. He supplied the fridge. Brought our own bean bag. They supply us with basic chairs, but I chose to bring my own because mine is more comfier. This is our closet right here. This is my side of the room. They also give you dressers, so you're fine with that. You do have to bring your own hangers, stuff like that. That's mandatory. But everything else is yours to bring. This is also my roommate's side of the room. But yeah, this is my room. Having the futon is my favorite part, just because when I don't feel like I want to sleep in that bed over there, I can sleep in this comfy futon right here. This is West Regina, and like currently we are standing in East Regina, but it's not like it's illegal to cross paths. We do have people typically come over here and hang with people from East Regina. East Regina goes to West Regina quite often. It's, I would say, a community here. So this is our kitchen slash comms area. I usually come out here to do my homework when I need some free time and my room's too loud. This is the community fridge, so if you want to put your stuff in here, you gotta label it. But if you do not label it, people are most likely to take it, so you should probably label it. And then you have like a stove over here, cleaning supplies over here. Cleaning supplies is supplied, so all this stuff is yours, but you do have to bring your own cooking material. That's mandatory. Pots and pans you do have to bring. So right here we do have our laundry rooms. The laundry here is free, so that is a plus for all students. And we have bathrooms both this and that way. We choose to typically use this one. This one is a lot better for us and it's a lot closer. Thanks for checking out my room, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.
So as I was saying, we have a very active traditional student experience at Edgewood College. And so in addition to our students living on campus, we also have a wide range of Division III sports, as well as clubs and organizations. It's a very vibrant campus atmosphere. So students have a very easy time finding their home and their connection to Edgewood College, and they're very actively involved. Graduate students are also welcome to get involved in different things, but as I stated before, many of our graduate students are full-time working adults, and so coming to class when they can, coming to campus when they can, and working in the community otherwise. But the traditional students, very involved in a wide range of clubs, activities, organizations, sports, choral, music, art, instrumental, performance, the wide range. So we can continue on to the next slide. So I wasn't sure how many people actually knew where Madison was, but Madison, Wisconsin, we are the capital of the state of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is in the upper Midwest of the United States. So we are, like, depending on traffic, a little, about an hour and a half to 2 hours north by a car from Chicago, Illinois. And we aren't that far from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Madison does have an international airport right here in town, but also many students might arrive via Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has a little bit larger airport. And then again, Chicago, Illinois is only 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours away. So there's multiple international airports in Chicago. So that gives you an idea of where Madison is located. And a little bit more about Madison, we can go on to the next one. So this Madison, again, very, very, very vibrant community and a perfect fit for students who like to be active. The kayaking, canoeing, stand-up paddleboarding, the water sports, all of the downtown area, very closely connected with UW-Madison, the bike trails. It's an incredible place for students who want to enjoy a big city atmosphere with tons of outdoor activity. The photo you're seeing there is our Wisconsin State Capitol building, as well as every single Saturday morning is this massive farmers market right at Capitol Square. So great place to go get a variety of local flowers, produce, crafts, cheese. Wisconsin is very well known for cheese. So, but it's a great place to pick up some items every Saturday morning. And then the next video kind of shows you a little bit more about what Madison looks like. Let's see if this one works. So I'm relatively new to Madison. I lived here less than a year, and having grown up in the upper Midwest, I've been keeping myself quite busy in the beautiful weather we're experiencing here in Madison, with a lot of kayaking, canoeing, and bicycling, as well as golf. Tons of great golf courses here. So, but it is an absolutely beautiful community. Also, being in the upper Midwest, we do have all 4 seasons here in Madison, Wisconsin. So, you know, we're currently enjoying a beautifully warm summer, but we also have cool winters with some snow, as well as a beautiful fall with the vibrant colors and spring. So it really is a great place for students who haven't seen all 4 seasons to come and experience those. But I can certainly talk about that application process next. We can continue on to that next slide. So obviously, we are still accepting students for this coming fall and would welcome students. We have space for this coming fall and would definitely love to have students still interested in coming this fall to apply as soon as possible. But if you're also looking at fall of 21 or 22, normally we open that application for admission up about a year in advance. So this coming August 15th, we'll open up the application for fall of 21. And we use the common application, and you can find that application on our website or be in contact with the folks at MSM. Continue on. So and along with that admission application, we are going to be looking for test scores and official transcripts. And I think our biggest questions are usually around test scores. So we can continue on to that next slide for those admission requirements. We are looking for proof of English language proficiency. Students that are attending high schools that are completely taught in English, we will admit without proof of English language proficiency if I can get those transcripts so we can work directly and individually with those students. But if a student has a TOEFL, IELTS, or other English language placement test, we'll also take that for admission consideration. And we are looking for a 5.5 on the IELTS or a 61 on the paper-based TOEFL or a 500 on the internet-based TOEFL. So those are the baseline, but we will consider other options as well. So be sure to be in contact with us and the folks at MSM on an individual basis for admission. And then for our cost of attendance, Edgewood College is a private institution, so our international students are paying the same price as all of our domestic students. So our undergraduate tuition is just under $32,000 for the year, and then full housing and meal plan and all of the expenses. So this includes books and supplies and other additional living expenses would be just under $18,000 for the year. So you're looking at a total around $49,650 for the entire academic year for a traditional undergraduate student. Our graduate programs, I did not list the cost here because the cost is differential based on the program, but I'm happy to work with the folks at MSM to provide cost information specifically on each graduate program if there's interest in our graduate programs. But most of our undergraduate students are looking at that traditional full cost of $49,650. But we also want to make sure that we provide some scholarships. So there are scholarship opportunities in order to help students be able to afford that cost. So I believe we're going to do a poll and then we'll get to the scholarships.
So it's the second poll time. So we'll just, the poll questions have come out. So just to ensure that our quality standards are at par and you are able to hear us and also see the video properly, please rate us the audio and video quality for this particular webinar. So you can mention, was it excellent, was it very good, was it good or poor? So according to that, we can make things better. The second question is, what is the IELTS requirement for undergraduate students at Edgewood College? So did Ms. Amber tell, was it overall a 5.0 that is required, or was it a 5.5 overall that is required? Or was it a 6.0 overall that is required, or was it a 6.5 overall that was required? And then the third question is, how much does it cost for the housing, meal plan, and expenses at Edgewood College? So this is inclusive of all that has been mentioned, including the books and whatever the cost that an international student would have to bear. So did she mention, was it $17,100, or did she mention, was it $17,400? Or did she mention, was it $17,950? Or did she mention, was it $18,250? So we'll just wait for another 10 seconds to just have active participation. So would request all of you to participate and just type in whatever you feel that you must have heard, so that it makes us a little interactive for this particular webinar. Yeah, I think we can close the webinar, the polls, because we're nearly reaching 2 minutes. Yeah, so thanks. I think most of them have mentioned that it's very good, or at least it's excellent, because we find 50% and 28% telling that, so that's nice to hear, and 0% telling it's poor. So everyone are able to see and hear us. That's nice to hear. And then, yes, 72% of them have told the correct answer of the IELTS requirement. That is a 5.5 overall is required. And then, yes, 67% of them have told that the total cost involving the housing, meal plan, and the expenses would cost $17,950. So we've got a better attendance from the previous poll, and we have had better correct answers than the previous poll. So I think we have completed our polls, and then it's over to you, Amber. I'm going to the next.
Thank you. So we were just talking about that cost at $49,000, a little over $49,000. So we do want to provide students a way to be able to supplement that being able to afford Edgewood College. So we do offer international student scholarship. And those scholarships are based on a cumulative GPA. And so based on the application for admission and the cumulative GPA that they are bringing with them from high school or college, we would award the scholarship according to this chart. So if they're bringing in at least a 2.5 or better GPA, they'd be getting at least $8,000 per year towards that cost of attendance. And if they're bringing in a very high GPA, they'd be getting $10,000 towards that overall cost of attendance. So definitely a great opportunity to get some additional scholarship dollars to help with the cost of attendance. We also provide jobs on campus. We have plenty of job opportunities for students on campus, and most students are receiving Edgewood Employment Award up to $2,000. And so usually that $2,000 award is having students work between 10 and 20 hours a week or less on campus. So it's not a huge commitment of their time. It gives them a way to be connected to another space on campus and have some extra spending money. The scholarship would go directly towards their bill here at Edgewood College. That Edgewood employment money would go directly to the student. So if they have additional expenses, if they want to order pizza with their friends, or if they need to pay a cell phone bill, that's what that $2,000 would help them cover. So next slide. Questions?
Yeah. So
plenty of time to answer questions. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Amber, for this wonderful presentation. It was, we've already got a little really interesting questions that we hope to get touch base a little bit at least. So I'll go to the first question. So can you just, I'll leave the share screen and then I'm just going to the questions. I'll just, yeah. So just a little, the first question is that, can you give a little more brief about the scholarships? Is it for each student they'll be having it, or how is it? That is, every year they'll be having it. Now, for example, a student is joined with a 2.5 GPA on a scale of 4. And then if the student gets in this, in the third semester, if they get a 3.0, then will that slab change, or how is it?
So the entry scholarship they would be receiving, that if they come in with a 2.5 and they're receiving $8,000, they would receive that $8,000 every year that they are here at Edgewood College. If they do really well here academically at Edgewood College, there would be additional scholarship opportunities for them to apply for as returning students. So they would continue receiving that $8,000, and then they can earn a wide range. All of the other scholarship opportunities that are open to returning students would also be open to them.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. The second one is, you mentioned about the on-campus jobs. So could you just give a little more brief on what type of jobs does students get? Like it can be on a library or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a wide range of different on-campus positions. So here in the, I work in the undergraduate admissions office as well as graduate admissions and other spaces, but we have probably the largest number of employees in our undergraduate admissions office in this unit. And those students serve as tour guides. They help answer the phone. So they show other students around. And host campus visitors of all kinds. But there's also student workers in our Edgewood Central, financial aid, the mail room, food service, residential halls. There's a wide range of different opportunities. We also do have students in the residential halls. This usually happens your second, third, or fourth year at Edgewood College, where you might have that opportunity to become a resident assistant. Resident assistants live and work in the halls, and then they receive their room and board for free. So great opportunities for on-campus employment.
All right, I guess we have lost Jim for some reason. I'm Neelam here. So I guess the next question we have is that when can the scores be submitted? Because this due to this COVID-19 situation, many students are not having their exam scores in their hand. So what can we do about that?
Yeah, we are needing to practice utmost flexibility and understanding. We have the same problem domestically with students who are unable to take ACT and SAT tests here in the United States. So we'll just work individually with every student. Go ahead, apply for admission. If you're able to submit exam scores, please do whenever you can. If you cannot, let's email back and forth, me specifically with the MSM leadership, and we will find alternative methods for reviewing admission and making those decisions. I don't want the pandemic to cause students not to be able to come. So we're small enough that we can be flexible on those kinds of requirements.
All right. And the next question is yeah, Jim is here. So
I apologize.
let him continue.
There was an internet issue that came in,
Yep.
so I went blank. Yeah. So the next question is, can you just give a little more insight on, because usually it's the universities that have the School of Arts and Science, so they mention it like that. So can you just give a little more insight to our audience that Edgewood College actually is a university, but you didn't want to name it as a university and a college?
Right. So we are just like any university. I know in the United States it's confusing between college and university. We are a comprehensive higher education institution, fully accredited and awarding degrees from bachelor's of science, bachelor's of arts, master's of science, doctorate degree programs, the full range. And we're just not organized the same way as a huge university because we're so small. So instead of dividing the school up into a bunch of little colleges, we are Edgewood College. So our programs are our programs, and they're not necessarily organized the way you would see like at UW-Madison right down the street. You've got the School of Nursing and the School of Engineering and the School of Chemistry and the School of Veterinary Medicine. And we have so few students. I mean, we're 2,200 total students. So we are Edgewood College, but with that wide range of different academic offerings and really strong programs divvied up into a bunch of little silos. Everything is interdisciplinary, and we work well together, but we still award those different degree programs.
Sure. And also, if you could just give a little more insight on the nursing program, for example, how a student, for example, from outside US, in case if they have to become a registered nurse, what would be the procedures?
Yeah, we offer a full Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. And so I think for a student coming into our traditional environment without college credit already, that's the best route to go. It's a very strong Bachelor of Science degree in nursing where they would, during their first 2 years, obtain the required courses like any nursing program. So anatomy and phys, chemistry, psychology, sociology are the required courses. Some of the required courses they'd be working on that first year. And then the next 2 years, they'd stay here in Madison, but work on clinical experience. We have incredible partnerships across Madison and excellent clinical experiences. As a small institution, we are able to ensure that there's always Edgewood faculty on site during the clinical experience. Students, if they're researching different nursing programs, they will find that sometimes clinicals are done without a faculty present and that the learning is just not as high quality. So we always have that faculty member present to ensure that students are really learning what they need to be learning in that clinical environment. And then in order to be a registered nurse here, you would need to pass NCLEX is a national nursing exam, and Edgewood College has some of the highest passing rates in the country on that NCLEX exam. So we have very, very strong nursing program, high quality, excellent placement. I mean, students are being recruited to work all over the country when they graduate from the Edgewood College nursing program. So it's very, very good. It's also competitive admission. So you would be admitted based on the information we just talked about to Edgewood College. And then during that first year, students would have to make sure they get good grades so they can be formally admitted to the nursing program.
Yeah. So is there any minimum requirement of a GPA that you look for after the first year that they get admitted, or is it based on that particular students that are there?
So yeah, it's competitive and there's a limited number of spaces. And so we've had plenty of spaces for applicants in the last few years. So as long as students really work hard, but I would say they need to set a goal for themselves of earning at least a 3.25 at the minimum, but most of our nursing majors have a little bit higher grade point average than that. So definitely and competitive based on the number of students and the number of spots. So.
Also, if you could just give a little more brief on the OPT options, that is, how does Edgewood College help the student after they complete their program for their optional practical training? What are the services that Edgewood College gives international students?
Very, very, very personalized. It's awesome. We have actually a team of 2 full-time employees to serve our international students, and our international student population is currently very, very low. So those 2 folks get to spend a lot of time helping each individual student with their OPT options. So there's great, employment in Madison is excellent. There are tons and tons of job opportunities all across the board there's an incredible number of hospitals, but businesses, accounting firms, we have great partnerships with all of those. So I'm confident that our team in our International Student Services area will be able to help students with OPT options here in Madison, but if they prefer to be somewhere else in the United States for that OPT option, we can make that happen as well.
Sure. So there would be services like a resume builder, then interview preparation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our career services office will work very closely with International Student Services to ensure that students have resume building, internships, mock interviews, practice interviews, career exploration opportunities. So we definitely provide all of those services to ensure that our students find employment after graduation.
And if you could just speak a little more about the CPT, that is the internships. Now, for example, if a student completes the 3rd year, the 4th year, if they are opting for a CPT, do you help that, and are students doing that?
Yeah, same as the OPT option. I mean, we've got those 2 full-time staff that are helping our students through those things. And yes, like I said, our international student population here at Edgewood College is not huge. And so we don't have a large number of students on CPT, but we certainly provide the option.
Thank you. Yeah, and the next one is if you could just give a little more about the MBA program, if you could just tell, can you, if you can just mention a few STEM related programs, that's science, technology, engineering, and math related programs, because they get an additional optional practical training which students prefer. So if you could just give a little more brief on that.
Yeah, I'm very excited about our MBA program. We just redesigned our MBA program to be much more competitive with other MBA programs in the area. So we are expecting growth in enrollment in our MBA program. Our MBA program works incredibly well for both traditional students that prefer to go full-time, as well as students who are working full-time and wanting to earn that additional credential. So we have options for the really highly flexible course experiences where students can be on campus or online, or a combination of different things. And it still works really well for the international students because it is coded as being on campus. But if you are working in a firm and you can't make it to campus for that class, you can still attend that class remotely. So our MBA program is great for a ton of different students with different, I call it emphases within the MBA program, so that you can do a general MBA, or you can specialize in healthcare administration or nonprofit administration. So or human resource management. So there's a wide variety of areas of specialization within our MBA program. And then in that area of STEM, we definitely have a very strong biology program. Our biology program is very renowned due to the fact that our students, our undergraduate students, are actively involved in research and a lot of environmental related research. Again, as you were seeing the video of our campus, we're physically right on Lake Wingra. Lake Wingra is a no motorized thing on Lake Wingra. So it's only kayaks, canoes, and stand-up paddle boards, and has an incredible amount of plant and fish life. So students are doing excellent freshwater research in that space. So biology is very strong. We have a math major with great options, computer science major. Engineering is an area where we partner with another UW campus. So students can easily do the first few years of their experience here at Edgewood College and then have an automatic transfer over to one of our other UW partners to complete their engineering degree, because we do not offer engineering right here on campus. But we do have physics, chemistry, applied, hands-on, very strong majors that will prepare students for master's degree programs or other professional school programs. So many of our biology, chemistry, physics, and math majors do continue on to graduate school after Edgewood College.
That's nice to know. The engineering program, in case if a student joins in, so what would be the certification that the student would get after completion of the engineering program? Will it be an associate degree certification from Edgewood? Or?
It's a 2+2 joint degree program, so they would earn an Edgewood degree as well as a UW-Platteville degree. And it's the UW-Platteville degree that's actually in engineering. So that's probably the one that they're looking for, but it is a good working relationship between the two schools. So they earn a credential from both of us.
Yeah, and then also if you could just give a little more insight on the computer science related programs, because there's a trend that a lot of students prefer something related to math and basically analytics and the computer science. So if you could just give
definitely. Yeah, we do have a great computer science. It's a traditional computer science, hard science program, but the students are actively involved in different coursework that gets them involved in cybersecurity and gaming. We do have an esports team on campus. So for those students interested in gaming, we are competitive esports, and we play against other colleges and universities in video games. But yeah, our computer science program is a strong traditional curriculum that prepares students for both employment and graduate school.
Sure. Yeah, and also, if you could just tell a little bit about this COVID-19 situation, because what we're seeing is that there are a lot of students who are not able to write their exams, or they're not able to write their English score test. So will you provide a conditional offer letter wherein once the student completes and before they join into the institution, they can submit it?
We will. We're experiencing the same thing here in the United States with our domestic students not being able to sit for ACT or SAT exams. So we are experiencing the fact that we have to be incredibly flexible and not hold students in out a year due to a pandemic that's out of their control. So we're definitely making those individual decisions, and we can certainly offer conditional admission letters while we wait for scores and or make admission decisions based on other factors to ensure that students can still come. This coming fall, we will do everything in our power to have our courses in person and on ground. Edgewood College is small, and so we're at a great advantage over many of the other large campuses that have to host everything online because they're so big. We did go online this last spring semester because the whole country went online, but so we did as well. But we've spent all summer really working to ensure that we can be safe together and in class, but also highly flexible. So if a student doesn't feel well, in order to ensure that we don't infect others, that they can take that class remotely from the residential hall room if they're feeling under the weather. We are most likely going to be finishing our term a bit earlier just to ensure that students can be away from each other before a potential second or third wave hits this fall. So our classes were already small, but many times those classes would have been in a room that normally seats only 10 people or 13 people. Now we will move those same classes to rooms that would have in the past seated many more students so that we can practice social distancing. So students will always be seated at least 6 feet apart from each other in the classroom environment. We wear masks Everywhere on campus all the time. So it's just every time I walk out of my office to go to a meeting or down the hall or anywhere, we always wear masks on campus to keep everybody safe. And so it's just part of the requirement of being here this fall is that we will wear masks as well as practice social distancing and keep our classes and our gatherings small. But for Edgewood College, that's not going to be a huge difference from the experience before.
Thank you. Yeah, and the final question what I would like to ask is that we've got few countries that are English speaking. That is, we've got countries like the Philippines or Nigeria, a few African countries where their first language is English. So will this English test requirements be applicable for them, or will there be a waiver like you will give a Skype interview or a Zoom interview, check the student's credentials and later on get a possibility of admitting?
We will waive the requirement for students coming from English speaking high schools. I just need to have a transcript that says they're from, have attended their courses in English. And as long as we have that, then we'll take that as proof of language proficiency. Those students would be welcome to submit an ACT or SAT score if they have them, but we will process admission based on GPA alone for those students. So we don't even have to do the interview. We'll just do the GPA admission.
Thank you. So I think we are done with the questions. So really great points. Thank you so much. And then in case if any of our attendees have any further questions, our global admission executive is just going to drop in the chat her contact details. So you can get in touch for any type of questions that can be any type of queries or applications or anything related to any marketing resources that you want from us. So we will get in touch with you. So Ms. Amber, we will request you your closing lines for this webinar.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to listen to information about Edgewood College, and I'm also happy to work with you all to answer any questions we were unable to answer during this time.
Yeah, sure. So thanks, Amber, for this wonderful and insightful presentation. So before we sign off to the attendees, our second round of webinar for this same presentation will be aired on June 22nd at 7 a.m. Central Time. If any one of you joined late, anyone would like to recommend your students, colleagues, or references, please feel free to share the registration link. So we at MSM are super excited to introduce to you the Agent E-Summit 2020 Live, and would request you to follow us on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube platforms and stay updated on our upcoming events. You can also visit our website, www.msquaremedia.com, to get further updates. So thank you for participating in today's webinar. We hope to see you again next time. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.